Hey guys, welcome back. Today is another beautiful day. I am just basking in the sun and enjoying this weather so much. We do have rain on the forecast, I think for the next day, and then it's going to be sunny, and then we're going to have a couple more days of rain next week, which I don't mind, a couple of days here and there. But anyways, today I wanted to go around the garden and do a little bit of a garden tour and show you guys some of the things that are going on in our garden right now. And I will say it's a little bit of a mess because we started a few projects around the house. So we are moving things back and forth. And I'll explain a little bit more as we get going, but there are so many beautiful things happening in our garden right now. But I didn't want to miss the opportunity to show you guys some of the beautiful things that are blooming. Some things are on its way out. So I want to just show you again the evolution of our garden throughout the months every year, that we can kind of see how it evolves over time. And it's just fun to see month to month how everything is looking. So we're not going to go too into detail today because I just want to keep it quick and show you some of the pretty things, do a quick walkthrough, and just show you all of the pretty things that are blooming right now. So let's start out here at the front because the containers are looking really beautiful and fresh. And you guys will notice that we painted the house. It was a really quick decision. It's a temporary solution because we are redoing the siding, but we were shooting some fun things and I just needed the background to look nice. And honestly, the old paint that we had on here was just, I was like, I can't take this color any longer. So my stepdad and Sergey just have been at it, just doing a quick paint job around the house, which I'm actually really excited about because things really pop. And this kind of gives us a preview of the color that we want when we redo our entire siding. But I wanted to show you guys some of the containers here in the front and that we actually put together. Gosh, I don't even know when it was. It feels like forever ago, but look at how beautiful they are looking. They have put on quite a bit of size, especially the scabiosa. It's just going for it. I love all of the little blooms on it. I do have to come in and deadhead to make sure it will keep blooming. And a lot of these are perennials, so we will be able to move these out into the landscape here pretty quick when we get ready to do our summer containers. The one thing that I'm like eagerly waiting to do something are the little fuchsias that we planted in here. So they're almost ready to pop. And I'm just excited to see their little faces when they do open up. And our pansies that we started from seed, I think this is the Frizzle Sizzle, if I'm not mistaken, they are blooming and looking pretty and delicate. And everything is just really filling in and kind of starting to spill over. The ferns are also doing good. We are getting a little bit more sunshine, so these will need to be moved out to the back here soon. But other than that, things are just looking really lush and full. And here is this container on the opposite side. So together, they just look so lovely when you're walking up to the entryway. I love this look so much. Back over here, the Shishigashira Lion's Head Maple really leafed out and filled in. Just look at how beautiful it's looking. I'm so obsessed with this tree. And we always joke that when we move, we will be bringing this tree with us just because it's one of our favorites. And we just took so many years to shape it, but just look at how beautiful it gets, especially when it starts curling its leaves a little bit. Oh, I love this tree so much. Now the daffodils are on their way out. There are some late blooming ones that are still putting on a little bit of color here and there, but for the most part, they're kind of done for this season. And if I step back, I just want to show you the contrast, how beautiful with the green Shishigashira maple and the smoke bush and then the blue atlas, just everything looks so full and lush and delicate right now, especially because it's new growth. So everything just looks a lot more softer this time of year, which I absolutely love. And because the house is painted, everything just pops so much better than it did before. Now we still need to come in and pull this tree back. You can see we've pruned it in such a way that it drapes kind of forward, but it's just front heavy. So we just need to pull it back and make sure it doesn't continue coming forward like it's been doing. The peonies that we divided are doing good. The buds are definitely smaller than they were last year, but that's okay. We just needed to get them divided because they were just getting massive. Even this one, look at how big it still is. And I think we got what, 3 or 4 divisions out of it, and it's still just beautiful. Over here, the alliums are starting to come up, which is nice. We have several varieties in here that we planted together. I'm actually super excited for some of the globe masters. I think those are always really fun. New maple that we planted here, I don't know, maybe like a month ago. So that's also looking really nice. Our Chinese dogwood in the back is coming through nicely. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Look at the color. This wall hasn't been done yet versus what it is now. This is so bad. So we needed something temporary, even if it is just for a couple of months until we have the siding replaced. I didn't care. We needed something. I was at the end of my line with the color of this house. So anyways, it looks so much better now. The blue weeping Alaskan cedar is just glorious. I love this tree so much. I cannot believe how tall it got in such a short period of time that we've had it. And it absolutely fills in this little bed so nicely. And you do see a lot of like the drip coming up. We're gonna come in here with the mulch in the next couple of weeks. So that is just going to freshen everything up so nicely. It just happens where the mulch that we actually use compost, it settles down every year. So we just come in with a couple more inches every year to add on. This year we are going to do proper mulch because we've done a ton of compost in the front garden for the last several years. And I feel like the soil is looking really healthy and good. Definitely a big change from where we were before. I did want to show you guys these tulips. These I planted, oh gosh, a while back. And they're kind of at the end of the season, but they are stunning. I can't recall the name, maybe you guys know, but they are beautiful, fluffy. They look like a peony or a rose. And we get compliments on these all of the time. So I'm gonna do a little bit of searching and see if I can find them, because these, again, have been here for years, for several years now. And I just would love to plant more throughout the garden. And there's really not much going on back there. I don't even wanna bother swinging around. It's just full of weeds. We'll tackle that another day. The tree island is in its full glory. We have the Emperor One maple, just lovely as ever. I love this color of like red and burgundy in the garden, and it gets full sun and it does great. So I love this tree so much. We also have the Louis Eastern White Pine, which is coming in, filling in really nicely. It usually looks a little bit thinner in the winter time, like the needles aren't as fluffy as they are now, but you can see it's putting on its growth, and we just had it pruned too. You guys saw that video with Eduardo. He came in and pruned everything nicely. So things are filling in. If I come back here, we have the Hollywood juniper just kind of tucked in over here. It's looking good. And then we have the Oregon Austrian pine over here that we also really opened up. We have a lot of fun with this one here because we really like to keep it open like this. So there's a lot of airflow and movement through this area. So it is also looking gorgeous. And if we come down here, I've talked about removing this plant like, I don't know, probably 2-3 years in a row, and I haven't yet. So this is I think it's Midnight Masquerade penstemon. I always pronounce that wrong. But anyways, I always tell myself I'm going to remove it, and then it starts growing and I'm like, well, it actually looks really, really beautiful. My only thing with this is when it's done blooming, it doesn't bloom for us again. So you're just kind of left with the foliage, but I do actually like the foliage. So I really should just live with it one more season and see if we really do want to move it. But I feel like there's also room for opportunity in here. We also have little lime hydrangeas throughout this bed, and those are looking good and coming in and filling in really nicely as well. We have a couple of daffodils that are just still putting on quite a bit of a show, and oh, they're just so pretty. The daffodils that we planted in the planting strip are finally done, and the grass has gotten so tall. So we are going to come in here and just mow everything down. I might actually try to lift some of them and see how they are, because the plan is to still come and remove all of the grass in the planting strip on both sides of the garden. So hopefully we are going to get to that this season. One more thing I wanted to show you guys that is just looking stunning is this leprechaun columbine. Just look at the variegation. of this plant. It's beautiful foliage. And then look at these little blooms. Isn't that just so stunning? They make such a cute little cut flower. And if I step back, just look at how delicate they look. They're so pretty. And I will say these self-seed everywhere. If I come into this bed, do you see how they're everywhere? So just keep an eye on that if you do want to grow these in your garden. They do spread really nicely, but I just love the way that they're looking right now. Just such an interesting plant to have in the garden. And there's a weed right next to it. This is not a plant. Let's pull that out. Oops. There we go. Much, much better. Back in this area here, we have some ranunculus that are coming back up. I probably grew these or put them out here. Oh gosh, it's been a while, but they're coming up. We have some pansies tucked in through here. Our coral charm peony is looking beautiful. This is also one that we divided, and there are quite a bit of buds still on this one. Back here, the crimson queen Japanese maple really just filled in. Look at how beautiful she looks. Oh, I love this Japanese maple so much. We have some random plants from other projects just kind of tucked in throughout here. So none of this is permanent, and we will be shifting a lot of these things. But gosh, just look at how beautiful these little pansies and violas are. I love that. And the ranunculus too. These are ones that were left over from planting in our containers on the back. And I just threw them in here and they look great. Now that our daffodils are starting to wind down, I am going to come in with bulb tone and just sprinkle bulb tone around all of our bulbs just to give them a little bit more energy so they can store for next year. And then we will do that before we get our mulch brought in. And that way I can start cutting them down for the season. And I think we should be good to go after that. Of course, you want to allow your the foliage to get a little bit brown and yellow before you cut it down. I cut mine like a little bit before that, and I don't really notice a big problem with the daffodils. With tulips, I would definitely allow them to stay on a little bit longer because tulips do, or they don't naturalize as well as a daffodil does. So anyways, I do want to come in and just start getting that ready. Come in with the bulb tone, feed everybody, and then we'll bring in the mulch. If we swing around this bed, we have some things coming up here. We have the pineapple lily that's coming up, which we probably need to divide them by next year because these are going to get massive. Our delphinium is also coming in nicely. We just have so many fun plans for this area with all of those annuals that we just bought. Well, I have a lot of fun plans for them, and I'm very, very excited about. And if we swing over here, just look at how glorious. Don't mind the house in the background. They're going to be painting that wall next. But just look at the green leaf Japanese maple. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. I love this tree so much. And she was also a baby just a few years ago when we planted, and it just put on so much size. Our Venus dogwoods are not in full bloom yet, but here is what they're looking like right now. And in just, oh gosh, maybe like 2 weeks, these are going to be full of big white flowers, and we have all of them planted on the planting strip. We also added 3 more on the opposite side. Back on this side over here, we have the fluffy arborvitae, and she's looking really cute. I love this arborvitae. I typically wouldn't put an arb like as a specimen piece in the garden, but I don't know, I just love the way this kind of fills in the space. We do have an area back here that I would like to do something fun. Some grasses maybe. I'm not sure yet. I thought about some taller grasses back here. Thought about another little tree here, but we're like, maybe not. Let's just leave this area open here. There's a lot of paint prep going on over here. And here is a GM that I wanted to show you guys because we just planted a few of these in the back. And this is what they look like when they're in full bloom. Just look at how beautiful and delicate those little flowers are. If you don't have this perennial in your garden, totally recommend it. It comes through in the springtime, has these beautiful little flowers, and then you cut them back, the flowers back, could just cut them all the way back, and then you have this really pretty foliage left. And I actually just really enjoy the mounding effect that these plants have. We do have some dahlias that I didn't dig up yet, These will be coming out because we're not going to be doing dahlias in this area this year, just because we have some other bedding annuals that are going to go in here. But so far looking good. The verbena's looking good. We have a ton of verbena to plant in the front here, which I am very excited about. And then this little Norway spruce, weeping spruce, is just putting on the sweetest growth. And I love the pine cones that it produces. Just look at that. Ooh, there's a big bug on there. But just look at how interesting that is. All right, we're in the back, and can I just be vulnerable for a minute? Because there is such a mess in our side garden that I'm just like, how can I even show you guys? It's just so messy. And I think what bothers me the most is we got this area cleaned up and just getting ready to do our big side garden project. And then to have to move things back into it after I cleared it out is like, I mean, it's my fault for buying all these plants and trees and not planting them right away. It's totally my fault. But I'm also like, oh, it just kills me. So I'm definitely going to be a little bit vulnerable here and just show you what's going on. And I hope that's okay. Here it is. I won't even show you the whole thing because it's just so bad. But we had to move everything that was in front of this our primary suite right over here. And we had to put it on the side. We had to empty out the little deck on the side of the house. And it's just, look at this situation. It's just bad. It's so bad. Let's just turn around and look at some of the pretty things that are going on in the garden. The next tree I wanted to show you guys is this blue Japanese pine. I love the structure of this tree. I think it's so unique. If this is one that can handle your zone, and I'm sorry, our neighbors are doing some remodeling, so you're probably going to hear construction in the background. But anyways, these only get 10 to 12 feet tall and spread 10 to 15 feet wide, and they are hardy in zones 5 through 7. We keep it pruned up like this, so it's not going to get much bigger than this. And I just look at the structure of this, and I love the pine cones on this one too, just because it's so different than any of the other trees that we have. It almost creates a little cluster of pine cones, almost like little flowers around some of the new growth. So it's just very interesting, in my opinion. And the needles are not too stiff either. And they have a little bit of that variegation in them. So just stunning, stunning tree to have in the garden. Our Eden climbing roses are doing really good. We pruned them pretty hard this year, but there's quite a bit of blooms on them. So they're going to be flushing here in just a bit, which I'm very excited about. Now, we did have thrips last year, a little breakout in thrips. So I still want to come in with beneficials and just spray our roses, our cut flower garden, and just make sure things don't get ruined by these pests that we just had such an issue with last year. So anyway, so far they're looking good. Knock on wood, hopefully nothing is going to come back. Don't mind the mess. Here is a situation too. So you guys remember this arb was leaning into the cut flower garden? Well, we had to remove the whole thing. We had to strip everything from our roses. This is, I think it's, what is it? Woolerton, Old Hall, David Austin climbing rose. I would never recommend anybody do this time of year, but we just had no choice. So we had to cut everything off, remove this arb, and then Sergey and my stepdad cemented it back in. So we're just waiting for it to dry and we can get this area cleaned up. Our blue spruce here in the back is also putting on quite a bit of growth. We also have the emperor maple starting to fill in back here. The Newton's oriental spruce, this is a good one here. And this has just the sweetest growth. And I'm so sad that we don't have the little pine cones right when they come out before they turn into dust like this, but it's bright pink. I'll see if I have a picture and I'll pop it up on the screen for you guys. But look at all of the new growth that's coming through. I love that. We also have our bleeding hearts that we planted together. And look, they're looking so cute back there. Our hops are kind of getting out of control. Sergey and my stepdad are actually going to tackle this project because we wind it up on our pillars every year. So that's why it's kind of just growing low like this. This is not what we let it do, but we've just been so busy with other projects we haven't gotten to it. The hostas that we also divided, look at that. Those are looking really nice. I'm very, very happy. And our peonies that we planted are looking good. And what's looking really good back here are these lilies that are going to be coming up. Just look at how thick they are. I love lilies. They're kind of like one of my first favorite flowers, especially the Casablanca ones. Oh, I couldn't grow enough of them. They're my favorite. But anyways, I love tucking in flowers, especially ones that have really tall stems and create vertical interest in between trees and shrubs, just because it's a pop of color that we're going to have in this space here, where it's usually a little bit darker this time of year. So just to have something come up and just, oh gosh, I mean, it's going to be a while until it blooms, but it's still kind of a darker area where whenever we can bring color to these little spaces, it just makes me so happy. Our bracken brown beauty magnolia is looking good. We pruned it kind of hard this year. We still need to come in and fertilize her because she's looking a little not as dark green as I would like for her to be this time of year. So we're going to go ahead and just give her a good feeding. But oh man, is she one of my favorite trees. Magnolias are actually my favorite trees. One of the very first containers we planted together this season, this little tabletop container, is doing great, still looking very colorful and joyful in this area back here at this little table. Our cut flower garden is going to get a facelift here in the next week or two. And I'll bring you guys along so you can see what we do at the beginning of the season to get this whole entire space in tip-top shape. That way we don't really have to do a lot of maintenance for the rest of the season. But anyways, down here we also have more peonies. Look at that. We're almost there. We're almost there. These are going to be so lovely. More bleeding hearts. The muscari are done for the season back here. The Ruby Falls Redbud did really well back here. You can see it still has a little bit of its flowers, and it was just packed with a bunch of little buds. We also need to stake this one a little bit more forward because it is leaning back a little bit. So we'll bring her up forward just a bit. The last of the tulips in our bulb lasagnas are coming up. And just look at how beautiful they are. Oh no, this one broke. Bummer. But anyways, other than that, fun experiment. Definitely doing it again in different containers this season, this fall. But 10 out of 10 recommend bulb lasagna. Very, very, very fun experiment. If you don't have a lot of room in your garden to grow bulbs and tulips and things like that, I highly recommend you do some bulb lasagnas, just because we had so much color for so long, because it started out with the crocus, and then came the hyacinth, and then the muscari, and the other ones we have daffodils, and then the tulips. And it's just been such a fun color show to have different flowers blooming at different times in a contained container. So if you don't have a lot of space, but you do want to grow more bulbs in your garden, or even like a balcony, whatever space you do have, I think this is such a fun idea. Love doing this so much. The blue ice Arizona cypress is looking really cute and fluffy. Let me just step back so you guys can see. She looks good. Our coral bark maple finally leafed out for you guys to see. Look at that. So the bark gets a little bit cooler in the summertime, and then in the wintertime it turns into this bright, like coral. That's the name, coral color, and it just glows in the garden. So this is just one of my favorite trees. Highly recommend if you have the space for it. Just look at how interesting it looks with those chartreuse colored leaves, and then that pop of coral bark and the new growth. It just looks good every single time. I love it. Back here we have a clematis, and she's doing really good. I forget the variety, so we're gonna have to wait till it blooms so I can try to remember. But it's looking good. I've just been trying to train it up, the trellis, as best as I can. Back here, I mentioned it, we are going to be doing some changes to the dry river back here. So we're gonna create a retaining wall on either side, bring in more rocks, different sizes. And I think that is going to actually be kind of a dramatic impact back here, which, you know what, I'm just looking at this angle here and you guys, I cannot wait to change this fence. It just drives me crazy how there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different fences in our backyard. Oh, it just drives me so crazy, but in due time, right? That's what I keep telling myself. Just have patience. You can't do everything at once. So we're just, going to be patient, and hopefully by the end of summertime, we can tackle this project. I hope. We have some irises popping up. Again, can't tell you the variety because I forget what I planted here. So hopefully when it's blooming, we will be able to identify it better. And over here, you will not believe what's going on. Do you guys remember we planted this peach together? Let me step back. We planted this beautiful container with this new peach. It was a bare root, and look what is going on. It has leaf curl. Can you believe it? I am so upset. I told Sergey, no more. Like, I was so frustrated. I even sprayed it, and it's still doing this. It didn't really bloom. There was like some buds, but nothing to brag about. And I think you guys had suggested some other varieties. I think there's a hardy one that's good for our zones here in 8B in Oregon and Washington. It was bred, I think, by Washington State University. I can't remember. But anyways, we're going to try that. And I'm almost tempted to get rid of it like now because it just bothers me. I don't know why. It's not going to impact the fruit if it does fruit, but I just hate looking at it. And I refuse to spray it over and over and over again. I just don't like that approach. I feel like if you have to constantly spray something, is it worth keeping? Probably not. So anyways, super, super disappointed. I thought for sure it was going to be, we weren't going to have an issue with it, but yeah, I'm just upset. I'm upset because I was looking forward to just having a really beautiful tree back here. If we swing around this way, the Avondale redbud is also just not doing it. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this one. I don't know if I want to keep it or move it. It's just not doing a lot. We definitely need to come in and cut down some of this dead stuff and just shape it a little bit. I hate to give up on it, but I'm just not super interested in it right now. And I changed my mind. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I love this tree. Other times I'm like, I could live without it. I don't know. I think we could do something more interesting back here. But what is interesting is this beautiful lollipop crabapple. Just look at this glorious tree, you guys. And we're kind of at the tail end of the blooms for it, but oh my gosh. 10 out of 10 recommend for your garden. If you have a tight space that you want to bring more spring flowering trees, definitely the crabapple. You can maintain it pretty small. I think this was a Proven Winners one that we picked up, oh gosh, probably at Bauman's several years ago, and I haven't found one since. But if you can find one, I think it's definitely worth adding to your garden. The Allen Wick Rose is doing good back there. Have a little bit of black spot, but that's okay. I'm going to take care of that here soon. And I'm also going to be planting some salvias around some of our roses. You guys had recommended salvia to help with the black spot. So we're going to give that a go so we don't have to continuously spray. Echinaceas are coming up that we planted last year together. Now Sergey's persimmon is looking gorgeous. I mean, no issues with this tree. Look at that. And that container is still just going for it. Oh, how I love this whole situation here. I love so much. Our peonies here, look at all of these buds, you guys. We will definitely be doing another tour so you can see all of our peonies in the garden, but look at all of the buds. This is insane. And there's also one over here that just has a ton of buds. So pretty. Our figs are starting to leaf out, so they're looking nice and healthy as well. I will say, I feel like Sergey is just itching to move this tree out of here. I don't think he loves this tree, and I like it. And I actually really enjoy the figs. It's a green fig, I think. Is this a king fig? I forget. I can't remember. We have so many fig trees. But anyways, I want to keep it. I think he's kind of leaning on doing something else, but until we have a plan, I'm like, nope, we're leaving it in place. We're not moving anything. Don't even think about it. If we swing around this way, we have our ice cap roses that are putting on a big flush of flowers. Look at that. They are going to be glorious. They're just very delicate, creamy white flower. And we also had a little bit of issues with this one last year with the thrips. So hopefully, I'm praying that it's not going to be an issue for us this year. But I think it's going to look really beautiful once it's in full bloom, especially because we are going to be coming in with some really pretty bedding annuals. I'm thinking the pink bubblegum. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm very excited though. Can't wait. I just feel like it'd be so fun to just have a bunch of super petunias back here. I don't know. So we're just going to play around with the idea. And right over here is where we have one of our Vanderwolfs now, because we planted a second one at the end of last year over there. But look at him. He's just beautiful, and he knows it too. Like, this tree just knows it's so attractive. And while we're back here, here is the burgundy jewel maple that we moved from the front last year, and it's looking gorgeous. It's definitely liking this area better. Look at all of the fresh growth on this too. Just lovely color. And the leaves on these are just so different from a lot of our other Japanese maples that we have. Look at that. Almost looks like a little bear claw. I love these. And right back here is where we used to have the Desert King fig that we removed last year. And we put in this purple fountain beech tree. And I was fighting it, but Sergey convinced me, and I love it. This tree can get rather big, so we do have to maintain and keep it kind of tight. But oh my gosh, it's such a beautiful structure back here. We have this little bench. We have a couple of things that we need to just move out of here that we need to get planted. We have a lilac here, and I can't tell you this variety because I can't remember. We bought this years ago. It was in the front. I dug it up. I put it in this container, and it's been here ever since, and I don't know what to do with it. I kind of love it, but I also feel like I have other lilacs that I'm super interested in. So this one might get rehomed to one of our friends. I'm not sure yet. I'd hate to let it go because it's so beautiful and large right now. But there is another one that I want to plant in our garden that I actually showed you guys at a garden event several weeks ago. So we might do that. I don't know yet. Either way, I'm just enjoying the blooms right now. Another reason I'm looking forward to the siding project is because all of the gutters are going to be redone. So there will no longer be none of this business anywhere in the house, around the house. So I am just looking forward to not having these obstructed views in the background of anything. I just can't. I hate it. I hate it. I know we have to do it because it's kind of jimmy rigged because our gutters are terrible, but it was just one of those projects that we wanted to wait until other things were prioritized. While we're here, our Japanese maples on the deck leafed out, and the pansies and violas right below them are looking gorgeous. Just putting on a ton of color, blooming nonstop. Such a great combination that I would repeat again next year or this fall. Maybe a different tone, but overall, 10 out of 10. Anyways, that wraps it up for our April garden tour. I'm so happy that I got to show you guys some things, and thank you for creating space for me to be vulnerable and share these things with you guys. Even though things are not looking as beautiful that I typically have it in our garden and around our house, it just, I'm such a, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just super OCD, I am, and I'm a very organized and clean person. And so when things are out of place, it's really hard for me to accept it. And especially because I know it's just part of the process, but it's still nonetheless, it makes it really hard for me to just open up and really show you guys here's what's going on. And there are days where I'm like, I don't care. It's gardening. It's life. It is what it is. But at the same time, I'm always oh, can we just get a truck and just put everything in so at least it looks tidy? And of course, also because of the side garden, again, like I mentioned, it's hard to have a space cleaned up. And I'm like, okay, we're going to start. And then it's but wait, we need to move things into it before we can really clear it out and get started on all of the beautiful things that I plan on doing to that space. So anyways, it's just one of those things. It's life, and it's okay. It's okay not to be perfect and to have things perfect all of the time. And I just need to keep telling myself that and convince myself of that, because I'm good about it telling to my friends, but I'm also like the hardest critic on myself when it comes to these types of things. So anyways, thank you guys again for hanging out with me today in my garden, and I'll see you guys in our next video. Bye-bye.